In Stamford Bridge where legends play, the Blues march on day by day. From the academy's nurturing hands to the roaring crowds in distant lands, Chelsea Sessions brings the game to life, with training clips and match insights so rife. We dive deep into every play, where the Blues make history every day. Oh Chelsea, our hearts beat true, in victory and defeat we stand by you. From the men's fierce fight to the women's grace, together we conquer in every place. Through the highs and the lows we've seen, your spirit remains evergreen. With every pass and every goal, you ignite the passion in our soul. On Chelsea Sessions we get to know the tactics and the players that steal the show. We analyze and cheer with pride for every Blue that's side by side. Oh Chelsea, our hearts beat true, in victory and defeat we stand by you. From the men's fierce fight to the women's grace, together we conquer in every place. From the youth's first steps to the seasoned pros, your legacy eternally grows. On Chelsea Sessions we break it down, following every dribble, pass and crown. Oh Chelsea, our hearts beat true, in victory and defeat we stand by you. From the men's fierce fighting to the women's grace, together we conquer in every place. So here's to Chelsea, both now and then. We'll follow you forever through thick and thin. With Chelsea Sessions we grow as one to 100K. Let's get it done. So here's to Chelsea, both now and then. We'll follow you forever through thick and thin. With Chelsea Sessions we grow as one to 100K. Let's get it done. Oh Chelsea, our hearts beat true, in victory and defeat we stand by you, by you. From the men's fierce fight to the women's grace, together we conquer in every place. So here's to Chelsea, both now and then. We'll follow you forever through thick and thin. With Chelsea Sessions we grow as one to 100.
Neon poles in the midnight air, wires hum like they know you're there. Echoes ride through the circuit tide. We drift, we move, electrified. Whoa, whoa.
What is up, everyone? Big up to each and every one of you. This is very, very interesting. Didn't get to do a match review or match reaction in full yesterday, so I said, let me go about doing so today. Um, but yes, Chelsea slapped Barcelona 3-0. You'd have to give Maresca credit for the performance as well. Um, he was able to assemble a good enough team to get the job done against Barcelona, and Barcelona had absolutely no idea what to do. And Hansi Flick even came out and said that the consistent aggressiveness that Maresca's team came with is exactly what he wants his team to do. So you can see the plaudits being given to Maresca for such a fantastic job. And of course, that is exactly what he did. Let me place myself on screen so I'm not just talking without some face there. So, yes, Maresca was given the plaudits for what took place, and rightly so. Rightly so. He got applauded for what was what's on and what is exactly the case. So, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that that's exactly what happened. So hopefully we can see more of the same as we proceed to the next game, which is against Arsenal on Sunday. So we'll see what happens there. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you very much for support. And I'm hoping that persons that I'm sharing linked with to join me briefly for somewhat of a brief match reaction will have the time to join. But as I said, thank you very much for tuning in. Um, and I'm hoping that everything will work out for the stream as well. So let's see what will happen. Um, but yeah, let me just share this. I'm going to share the screen to show what SofaScore has up here. So I'm just going to do this quickly. Just share what's on SofaScore. All right, let me just do this. All right, perfect. Should be loading up. All right, this is it. Um, all right, there it's up now, thankfully. All right, so I'm trying to go back on this now, fix the layout of it as well. All right, so it says it right here. So this is the starting 11 for both teams. Mark Cucurella was the man of the match, according to SofaScore 8.1 as well. Jose Fofana and Malo Gusto. There you have Moises Caicedo, Reece James, Enzo Fernandez, Estevão, Garnacho, and Pedro Neto. So that is for Chelsea. Now for Barcelona, you had Lewandowski, Fermin Lopez, Ferran Torres, Lamine Yamal, Eric Garcia, Frankie de Jong, Araujo, who got sent off, Jules Kunde, Balde, Kubarzi, and of course, you have Juan Garcia, who also played in goal for them as well. So that is it. I just want to go through the statistics as well. So I'm just quickly go back up here and review this part. Statistics. Right, so that is that. Right, so 56% ball possession for Chelsea, 44 for for Barcelona. 1.89 expected goals, 0.79 for Barcelona. Three big chances for Chelsea and one for Barcelona. 15 total shots from Chelsea, five from Barcelona. Two goalkeeper saves from Chelsea, three from Barcelona. 120 number of sprints for Chelsea and 123 for Barcelona. Four corner kicks, none for Barcelona, but four for Chelsea. Eight fouls from Chelsea, 12 from Barcelona. 516 passes from Chelsea and 417 from Barcelona. 13 tackles from Chelsea, 26 from Barcelona. 12 free kicks for Chelsea, 18 for Barcelona. One yellow card and two yellow cards for Barcelona. One red card, of course, with Araujo. And this is the attack map, as you guys can see here. It displays how the attack looked for Chelsea with the areas in which they targeted as well. And then, of course, this is for Barcelona. You can see it. You can see, and this is the lowest concentration of play was, of course, in this aspect right here. There was little to low concentration of play. There was little play here from Barcelona, and this is where their highest concentration of play was because they were on the defensive aspect or the defensive side for the most part of the match as well. So no surprise, to be fair. It's no surprise that is what ended up being the case because, of course, Chelsea gave them the defensive responsibility to do, whilst they were unable to do anything otherwise. So, of course, when you consider all of this, it really makes you realize what actually was the case. Big up to you, SKFC, for tuning in. Big up, good. Thank you for tuning in. Um, so disappointed I didn't get to see a stream yesterday. I was very tired, so I couldn't get to do anything. I had to end my stream, hence why I'm doing this right now. Um, not sure if you're available to join if you want to join. But yeah, this is my little post game reaction slash reaction analysis. And this is, of course, pass map. You could see pass map here. You could see on the right hand side right here, 21%. That was to tell you how many passes really occurred in that area. The center circle was the most active area of the pitch, with 41%, and 38% as well was there for that part as well. So very interesting, very interesting situation. But it's not surprising, if, in all honesty, to be fair, it's not surprising because we do know that if you watch the match, you know that that was actually um, I understand um, SKFC. But thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. There's only one person watching, so I appreciate any support that I can get. Um, but yeah, we'll continue looking through the statistics. As I said, 456 accurate passes for Chelsea, 349 for Barcelona, 16 throw-ins for Chelsea and 13 for Barcelona, 47 final third entries from Chelsea and 25 from Barcelona. And you can see here 93 out of 123 passes in the final third. 34 out of 56 for Barcelona, 61%, 76% for Chelsea, and of course 22 out of 47 long balls, 47% accuracy there for Chelsea, whilst funny enough, Barcelona had 57% long balls accuracy because, well, or should I say 57% of those long balls were accurate. Um, so 3 out of 11 crosses, 27% for Chelsea, and zero crosses from Barcelona. So that gives them 0% as well. But yeah, a very interesting situation right here. Let's see if I can send out the link again to the persons that I sent it to, or that the stream is starting to see if something has come up or anything like that. But yeah, I'm very happy for the win. No, it's my only disappointment is the fact that we didn't beat a 11-man Barcelona. They were with 10 men for a whole half. So that would kind of give the impression of, okay, Chelsea didn't beat a fully balanced Barcelona team. So that's the only downside. But at the same time, definitely, and I was about to say that. But you see, Barca's main problem was their inability to progress the ball. Yeah, that was their issue, and they really missed Pedri. Yeah, so when I did my pre-match um, tactical analysis video on Sunday, I said the exact same thing, that they really gonna miss Pedri, and it really showed because they didn't have that balance in that midfield. They look spineless. You also say playing Eric Garcia was a mistake, as Bro was hiding from the ball. Yeah, I mean, at sometimes I forgot Eric Garcia was even playing in that era, which is strange. I think I think when Christensen came on, you could have seen more of a balance, and I think he was trying to do a lot more. I get Andreas Christensen was just coming back from injury as well, so I guess Hansi Flick didn't want to use him. But considering the fact that Christensen is a player or a defender who can also play as a midfielder, he used to do that a lot for Denmark as well. Um, I would have thought that that would have been the better option. If you wanted to play a centre back who has experience as a midfielder or whatever the case may be, play Christensen. But as I said, Christensen was recovering from an injury as well, so I suppose it makes a bit of sense why that ended up being the case. Um, but yeah, I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Barcelona tried and they sadly couldn't do much otherwise. So as a result, they ended up suffering at the end of the day. But yeah, you agree with you? I think that was the issue. Rashford should have started over Torres, in my opinion. He offers more dynamism, which their attack lacked. Yeah, I think what Hansi Flick wanted to do was to try to do a 4-4-2, which funny enough, that's what we did as well. We matched them somewhat with a 4-4-2 as well. Because as much as Gusto did kind of tuck in and invert into that midfield, but it also became a 4-4-2 because Reece James was in around the same section of the field. You also had at certain intervals Garnacho dropping deep, and then you had Pedro Neto and the likes of Estevão at times being the focal point. So yeah, they tried to. I guess that was what he was trying to do, but of course, I was surprised Rashford didn't start. Um, but yeah, they didn't look like they were gonna hurt us, and of course, um, Lamine Yamal was pocketed by Cucurella. So everything went south for Barcelona in this match, and I'm sure that Hansi Flick was disappointed, but he definitely looked like he had no idea what to do. So as a result, he he didn't have a plan B. He didn't have a plan B. So as much as I may say that um, Maresca has shown to me that he perhaps may not have a plan B, he looked like he did, because in terms of who was more productive, who was proactive, I should say, that's the word I should be using. It was obvious to see who really had a plan and an alternative and all of that. So it's yeah, it was really interesting to see at the end of the day. But um yeah, it's really gutting that when he gets to play against a fully fledged Barcelona team. That was one of the most unfortunate aspects, because it really doesn't give Chelsea as much applause or satisfaction that they probably could have got, which is the most gutting part about it. But yeah, let me go back up, because I think SofaScore is acting up now. So let me go back to using this photo here so that it's better for me here, because I've gone through the statistical aspect of it. But yeah, I agree with you, SKFC, that they were definitely lacking that component in the match, and as a result, the match showed it. They were struggling severely as a result of that. So I'm just gonna quickly go through what I have here. I'm thinking of using I'm gonna see what's going on X. See what's going on X. To see what people are saying about it. Of course, it's about 14 hours or so post the final whistle. So of course we know that in terms of what people were saying, it would be a lot. Most definitely would have been a lot as well. Um, but I'm gonna just see what's going on here. Just quickly look at this. Right, just trying to bring this up. But it is what it is. Okay, let's see if I can make this up. Oh crap! Sorry, my bad. Wrong place. My bad. My bad. Uh, okay, this is not working right now. Not sure what's going on with sharing the screen. Um, hmm, what should I do here? All right, so okay, I'm gonna use this instead. Share screen. All right, so this should be coming up now. All right, all right, so cool. So this is what it says. This is from Chelsea FC. Says what a night! What a night it was indeed. Um, you know, of course, you know that was the case going through this as well. So the likes of Wesley Fofana and Cucurella celebrating. Estevão is your player of the match based on voting. Cucurella, of course, got the UEFA player of the match as well. And you see the battle between him and Yamal as well present there. Um, okay, I don't want to get copyrighted, so quickly come off that. I can't afford to be copyrighted, so I'm gonna just ensure that I don't share that. And then, of course, we have a lot of the boys here. We see Mark Gue, Andrea Santos, Caicedo, Cucurella, Enzo Fernandez, and of course, Reece James at the end over there. So, yeah, man, that's the situation. Uh, try to see what else can be done here. Right, so that is that part. But yeah, in terms of the match itself, let me try to just do this instead. Trying to improvise. You can see this picture perfect Estevão. One of the biggest things that I actually saw in this match is the way how Maresca's team was able to get the better of Barcelona and Hansi Flick. It was really, really impressive to see. Um, but Chelsea, of course, continued to pile a lot on the pressure, and they were rewarded because 10 minutes after the break, when Estevão scored a magnificent goal from the very tight angle, Liam Delap would have, of course, would have made it 3-0 as well. So that is very fascinating to see. But as I said, Chelsea were playing somewhat of a 4-4-2 at certain intervals, 3-5-2. Of course, we saw Reece James and got Gusto in that first half, switching who would be the midfield area quite a lot. Um, and as a result, as things progressed, we were able to see that Barcelona were struggling. They really had a hard time handling the press, the aggressiveness, the intensity that Chelsea and Maresca came with. So, of course, that is one thing that really showed that there's no adaptability from Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick had one solution, one game plan, and the game plan went south, and he still couldn't do anything. So, um, all that it's telling. It really is telling. It lets you realize that not much was actually being done on that side. So, of course, in terms of this, we all know Estevão, Willian. There's a lot of arguments about who's better, Yamal or Estevão. I think it's kind of early. Of course, at the end of the stream yesterday, I did say that Estevão ended that debate after one game. Of course, in the heat of the moment, the excitement, I said that. But of course, one match won't determine that. Yamal is a very good player. He does sometimes shy away from performing consistently against the likes of a big team or in main games. Although he did disrespect Chelsea and say that the game against Chelsea is not a big game, but more so another game in the week that they have. So, so I think the day it just could have been karma, for the fact that he said what he did. But you know, Estevão William really showed his quality, showing up in big games, stepping up, and proving that he's worth the investment that Chelsea have put in him. So this is of course saying that Malo Gusto got his 100th appearance for Chelsea. Really shows that's a lot. But 100 appearances, he's had his time at Chelsea have had its ups and downs, but nonetheless he has not shied away from keep trying. He always gives his best, gives his all, and because of that, it has given him the opportunity to really, show that he's worth it. He's worth the investment. And Malo Gusto, it's a really good to see that he did well. And of course, it's Estevão William talking. I don't want to be copyrighted, so I'm going to skip that. Robert Sanchez as well is right here. Of course, as I said, Cucurella was the player of the match, so he got the player of the match award as well. I'm going to quickly go on to YouTube to see if anybody responded to the poll that I would have placed up as well. Did anybody vote on the poll? I'm not seeing the poll, so I'm wondering if the poll was cancelled. What's going on here? Not seeing the poll. I am not seeing the poll. I don't know what's going on. But that's it is. I'm just trying to see what I can do here. All right, so in terms of that, you can see it here, Estevão and Robert Sanchez sharing a moment right there. Of course, this is that. I, of course, know that was the case. I'm going to just quickly see what I can do in terms of this now. Welcome to Chelsea's 100. All right, so this says Arsenal is waiting for you on Sunday. That's what somebody said. In the chat, it also says, okay, I don't want to be copyrighted. Let me go this back up. Congratulations to Malo Gusto on making his 100th appearance for Chelsea and fantastic milestone. All right. And of course, we see this is when he joined the club. Um, and I'm happy for him, happy for Malo Gusto. He had a very rocky start to life at Chelsea, but he's slowly coming into his own and showing that, don't give up on him. And he's proven the fact that you should give up on players. It's a factual thing. Now, we have to wait and see what happens for Arsenal. Arsenal is the next test that Chelsea will have. So I want to see what will happen there. Um, as you saw, Malagusto here. I'm happy for Malagusto. Really happy for Malagusto. And of course, world champions. That's a very important thing to discuss. Marco Correa, really happy that he's been able to have bitter fever. Of course, and this comment section is very funny. Of course, wow, this picture is actually funny. This picture is actually funny. But yeah, Chelsea really dominated Barcelona from start to finish. It really was a match. It wasn't a tale of two halves, it was a tale of a match. Um, and of course, when it came to actually delivering and proving themselves, Barcelona really showed that they had no idea what to do. They were one dimensional. And as a result, Chelsea just simply did what they had to do and got the win. Simple as that. No worries, no concerns, no scares, nothing like that. They were spineless, toothless, and at certain intervals, spineless. So, of course, all of that is very important to consider. Um, but I'm really happy to know that Estevão, he's really proving himself, and I'm really happy that Cucurella is continuing to prove a lot of people wrong. He's been underappreciated. He was also overhated. Um, in his first season, but I'm really happy for him. Really happy that he's turning form. I was one of those persons who were always saying not to give up on him. So I'm really happy that he's really showing that he's worth trusting. This all right. I'm gonna just come off this because this is actually hilarious now. Um, but yeah, man, it's really good to really see that that was actually the case. Um, and I just hope that when it comes to Arsenal, who we have next over the weekend, we see Chelsea deliver tremendously. So I really hope that ends up being the case. But we'll have to see what happens. We can only wait and see what will happen as well. Can only see, can only just wait and see. We won't know what's going to happen. Can only just and see what will happen against Arsenal. It won't be anything like this Barcelona game for sure. Um, Arsenal are more well drilled, well rehearsed than, um, of course, Barcelona. So of course you're gonna see something completely different from what we saw from Barcelona. So I'm just really hoping that we can see tremendous football being played when that time arrives as well. So yeah, I mean, I wanted to see if anybody else would tune in on the panel, but uh I think I've actually done due diligence. I have nothing else to really add. So if nobody else joins in about 4 minutes, I will just wrap up the stream here, and then I'll just see what I can do for the in terms of previewing that Arsenal match in a couple of days. So let me just check what's going on here on X still. Just continue to scroll here. Um, Nothing majors out there. And of course, you saw Chelsea FC X saying that knackered after that. So, yeah, you really get to see what's really going on there. Um, I don't make copyright, and we'll move that on quickly. Uh, all right, so that's that. Um, all right, so let me just send this link to somebody so that they can give their thoughts. Um, all right, so I've gotten a lifeline. I was about to end the stream, but somebody is going to be joining, so I'll get another opinion. Probably it'll be a more in-depth talk because when it's just me one-on-one, it's just less things to really discuss. So let me see what will happen here, and what this individual will be able to offer for the stream as well in terms of giving their insights, their thoughts on what they saw last night. All right, let me see here. All right, let's go back to this image here. But yeah, man, I wanted to see if anybody would say anything on the poll, but I'm not seeing the poll. I don't know if the poll is still working because I don't see any poll at all. I'm not sure what's going on in terms of the poll. That's pretty odd. Pretty odd. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, let's see. But yeah, man, President Enzo Fernandez really did well. Cucurella Estevão, as I said, really proved step up really matters, and that's what we want to see from. That's what we want to see from a player like Estevão. Him continuously proving himself, continuing to show that he is worth the investment, the support that he could get. So I'm really glad that that was the case. Right, so somebody said Estevão is their player of the match. So let's see. See what's going to happen here. Big up to you, Ray. It's good to see you, Ray. Big up. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Really good to see you. Happy to know that somebody else is here. But yeah, trying to just wait to see who's going to join. And then I'll just proceed from there. But yeah. All right, so this is it. Let me just quickly go on to this now. As I said, big up Ray. Thank you for tuning in. Go back to sharing this tab. So this is what Estevão would have said. Big up to Blue Line Chelsea. It's good to see you. I know that it's you're probably at work or something like that, but it's good to know that you hear Blue Line Chelsea. Happy that somebody else is here. Really appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Always good to see you support one of the Chelsea Sessions members as well. So it's very good to see you here. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here. I really appreciate you showing support for the stream. Don't forget to smash the like button. I want to see what the poll is saying. All right, so Mark Cucurella is getting some votes now. So 67% says Cucurella is the man of the match, which he won the man of the match award either way. So of course that's the case. Um, but yeah, this is what so Estevão said that um, it was definitely the most special moment in his career. I'm going to go on the article because I want to see what I'm going to just try to kill some more time um, to to see if the person who said they'll be joining will join anytime soon. So let me just read this quickly. So amid scenes of celebration inside Stamford Bridge and with a beaming smile, okay, what's going on with this page, man? Okay, cool. So amid scenes of celebration inside Stamford Bridge and with a beaming smile on his face, Estevão William put in words the significance of his stunning goal that helped Chelsea defeat Barcelona. It was definitely the most special moment in my career. Very few 18-year-olds have a highlight reel quite like the Brazilian. Yet Estevão's strike at Stamford Bridge, his third in three Champions League starts, wow, that's crazy, will live long in his and Chelsea supporters' memory. Receiving it past 25 yards from goal, Estevão advanced into the area and showcased his quick feet by jicking. Oh, that's an interesting word choice. Jicking past Paul Cobarzi. He then held off the covering Keita Balde, shifted the ball onto his right foot, and thundered a shot into the roof of the net. Barcelona Juan Garcia had no time to react, and that is a screenshot or a picture of how the strike looked. You can see the impression, the expression, I should say, on Garcia's face as the ball just went top, and he could do absolutely nothing about it as well. So the goal doubled our advantage, established a Juice Kunde own goal, and was later added to by Liam Delap's first strike in the Champions League. It was another night that highlighted those in blue who are capable of producing on the biggest of stages. I don't really have the words to sum up how I'm feeling right now, said Estevão shortly after the final whistle. It was the perfect night, and I'm grateful to God for making everything happen for me. I'm very 50-50 about that part, but the goal was all very quick. It happened before I knew it. I saw this space, wiggled my way through, and scored. It was definitely the most special moment in my career, and I hope I keep scoring more in years ahead. I'm so happy also because my family were here watching as well. So Estevão's name was sung throughout our 3-0 victory, a sign of the affection the Chelsea faithful have for the teenage Brazilian international. Through his performances on the pitch and affable demeanor of it, Estevão has done his part in building that relationship, and he is grateful for the backing he has received. From the moment I arrived at Chelsea, I have felt I'm just happy. Okay. From the moment I arrived at Chelsea, I felt a connection with the fans. Just happy, just happy I can score for them, and I hope there are many more. I'm enjoying very much because football is the thing I love to do the most. Playing football will never be a burden for me because it makes me happy. So it really is telling. It tells you all you need to know about how he feels about the fact that he scored. Um, so yeah, that's what Estevão really said in full. Um, uh, okay, cool. Big up to you, GFC Govern. How are you, man? How are you feeling? Post Barcelona, Chelsea versus Barcelona last night or yesterday.
It's a wonderful feeling, bro. You hearing me, right? It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, man. It's been a while, man. It's been a long time. I'm gonna say, man, I'm very, very happy. For the win. That's first thing first. My takes on a lot of um stuff, especially when it come on to Maresca. I'm always
Mhm.
from day one that believe. not because of this performance, but overall, like for what I can see as a manager after I do my what we would call it, my homework, and I see what this guy, try to do in his early part of his career as a coach, and for what they bring to that Manchester City team, and I'm just over the moon right now. I'm not get carried away because they still got a long season ahead of us, and the December period is coming up where Chelsea normally, have a little bit of problem. But overall, man, I'm very very happy with the win.
Yeah. So who is your man of the match?
Um, Honestly, my man of the match is the entire team. To be quite honest, because if you're gonna single out a player, you're gonna be biased, or it's gonna be very unfair to me. I think the entire team is the man of the match. I don't think we can pick out an individual player because if you go down to Maresca, I would say Maresca is the man of the match for this game.
Wow. So how do you describe the performance of Enzo Fernandez? A lot of people are praising his performance. How do you think he did?
Um, For Enzo Fernandez from day one, my take on him. Like, I always said that I didn't think that he was suited for the Premier League, but ends off to to Enzo because he proved all of us that he will find way to adapt, and he find way how to, to go around with his teammates. And for right now, man, he's doing excellent. And this game that he played was a top performance. As I said, the whole entire team is the man of the match.
Yeah, man. So Cucurella, he pocketed Yamal, they say, and Estevão he finished that debate between Yamal and Estevão. What do you think about that part? Because I think a lot of people are saying that the whole thing of Yamal versus Estevão was completed, and Estevão proved it in this match alone.
I wouldn't say it finished the story because both of them are two young, talented player, and both of them are the two most excited player in the world at this moment. And I think that because what's going on with Messi and Ronaldo, the debate of Lionel Messi and Ronaldo is coming to an end. So I just think that people are looking, and the media itself, not social media or journalists and everyone is looking for the next two big thing to lead the football in the future, for the next generation. And I think that people is trying to start that debate at this moment because they want to rival where Lionel Messi and Ronaldo did. So I think that yes, the pressure should be there because once you're playing and on a high level, the pressure gonna be there. But I think that for right now, people are just trying to build a rival between two young superstar, as the same as they do with Lionel Messi and Ronaldo. So I think that right now, Esteval is doing very well. He's very humble. He's more likely to me would say a image of Messi with the umberness. Don't really, let the football talk on the pitch, and Lamar will be more like a Cristiano Ronaldo, with the fancy stuff and all the flashy things. That's where I think that that a lot of people gonna try to make the rival a little bit bigger. Not maybe not now, but down the line because this is just part one. They still got many years to come.
Yeah, and that's the ironic thing because I think if I'm not mistaken, Yamal said that his favorite player is Messi, which is very strange because Yamal isn't really humble. He's not a humble player. He's very confident in himself, which is fine. But, but he speaks like a Ronaldo. Like Ronaldo will say that, oh yes, because the thing Yamal said this before the game that Athletic Bilbao was the big game, and the next game, the game that would be Chelsea is just another game. It's not a big game, so it really makes you know that he did see Chelsea as a big game. So, and I even said this to Jerry, because Jerry loves Yamal. I said that so your boy said that it's not a big game. So if it's not a big game, that means he showed up in a small game then based on his standard, which is embarrassing then. So it really is telling that Yamal's attitude and all that.
Yeah, that's what I said. What I said earlier. If we put all of this into perspective, and speak about where football is going, and where football have been for many years, like the likes of a Neymar, Ronaldinho, one of the greatest player that we ever see play the game. It was not of because social media wasn't around that much, but the clubs and the partying and all of that Galivan, that's a thing that take a toll on your career. And I think that's why the longevity of those players, I think that's why their career go down quicker than what you thought. Because who could have put Lionel Messi in the likes of a Ronaldinho shoes if a Ronaldinho was taking the game as professional as he should? If he was taking the game as professional as he should and train hard as he should, he would have been the best, one of the greatest of all time. No debate, because Ronaldinho do stuff that we haven't seen Cristiano Ronaldo do, or even the likes of a Lionel Messi. But it's because of the lifestyle, and that's the lifestyle that we see
Yeah.
Lamal is trying to go down. So big up, big up. So if he continue to go down that path, who to tell if the career is gonna be that long? We have to take things into perspective. If you hear everyone that talk about Estevão, I've been talking about Estevão behind the scene with you for many years, for about a year or 2 years now, and I've been telling you about this kid, what I've been watching since he was like very very young, because I'm a fan of Brazil. So I'm very very intent. I watch a lot of Brazilian soccer, so I can tell the youngster that's coming through Brazil if they're gonna make it or not. And this one is one that's special.
Mhm.
He's a very special kid because he's very humble. And to hear Maresca come out and even say that he's never the type that's on his phone, that to show you he's a very old school, type of player. He seems like social media doesn't exist to him. He's not the type that's gonna be on social media. He's the type more likely to put in the work. And that's the difference. When people focus on what they're doing, they tend to reach a higher level than the ones that very distracted. So you have to balance it. And Estevão Williams right now is balancing whatever right now it's going on in his personal life and on the pitch. And the way our Chelsea is using him, I know that a lot of people will say, yeah, Estevão Williams needs to start more. But sometimes a young player, you have to be careful with young players because you don't want to burn them out too early. You have to gradually bring them in. The same thing with Ashipong. Oh, he should start. If you start these young players too early, they tend to start to pick up a lot of injury because their muscles gonna overwork before it finally grow or develop. So we have to be careful. A lot of those players back in the days, they didn't have the sports science. Look at Ronaldo, the phenomenon. If he wasn't picking up all those injury, Ronaldo the phenomenon would have been the greatest player to ever play the game. And that wouldn't be a debate. That wouldn't be a debate. But he started off so early and be getting these knocks here and knocks there and develop. And then all of a sudden, what happened? He's out. He's retired. You have to retire early. So young players, you have to careful with them. You have to make their body mature, develop, and let their bones grow and get stronger. So after a while, when they get older, they're not easily to tear down or to break down. So
Yeah,
we have to be careful with young players.
yeah. And speaking about young players, and who should be starting and who shouldn't. You know one person that even said that. You know one person that spoke about a certain Brazilian, Andre Santos. And I know one of those instances where I think I don't remember where it was, but there's a channel I was on, and somebody on the panel was saying something about Andre Santos cannot play as a defensive midfielder or he can't play as a six, which I was so confused because as you said, you watch Brazil, you know about these players, and I'm saying if they watch him at Vasco da Gama, if you did any research on Vasco da Gama, even at Strasbourg, you would have known that that's where he's playing. He's playing as a six. He's the one that would have been controlling the tempo, which is why I've always said that he's not like Enzo, he's not like Caicedo, and this is where I have to give Maresca his flowers because he corrected his mistake and perhaps the profiling of the player because he was saying that he sees either Caicedo or no, he sees Enzo or Andre Santos play with Caicedo, and you cannot have Caicedo and Andre Santos or Enzo and Santos. But we saw against Burnley that it worked, and it's exactly it. So he corrected it, and he even came out and said that he actually can play that. So that is why I'm saying that I don't understand it. I've asked you the question as well that we as
Uh,
spectators or fans can see.
Um,
We
I
we
can
as
break it down.
spectators and fans, we can see it, but the manager can't see it. I don't understand.
Okay, I can break it down for you. Why a lot of people misjudge Andre Santos talent. I would say talent. Because when he was playing for Vasco da Gama, he was scoring a lot of goals. So that's one of the thing that a lot of people misread his profile. Andre Santos is good on finishing, especially with his head. And a lot of people don't understand that they see him score a lot of goals, so they think he's playing attacking midfield. Andre Santos can play as a centre back. He played about 3 or 4 games as a centre back before. So he can play defensively. He's very, very aware. Andre Santos is an olden midfielder by trade for Vasco da Gama. But if you notice, Andre Santos is similar to likes of a Michael Essien, where he's good on late runs and shooting. He's good to follow the play and sit at the edge of the box and make late runs either for a header or for a shot outside the box. If you notice Andre Santos, when he set up outside of the box, if you notice, he always make a decent pass for an assist because he can do both side of the ball. And that's why I think that people misjudge his profile. But when he started out as a DM, as a defensive midfielder. Not saying it's the level of Caicedo, because people like to take it, if you don't put a little bit of spice to it, they will take a little piece of what you said and run with it. Not saying it's good like Caicedo,
Mm.
but he can do the job. He's a very different type of defensive midfielder than Caicedo, with similar eject. What is the word I'm looking for, Ty? Uh,
Um, I'm trying to
anyway,
figure out what you say.
yeah, he's similar. They're similar. They got similarity in many ways, and Caicedo got some different, like the late dashing and stuff like that. Caicedo is an upgrade, but for him to sit, he can do the defensive part of the game because he read the game very well. He play like a 25, 35-year-old player. That's Andre Santos. So for the people who said that he's an eight or he's an attacking midfielder, no. He started off his trade. He can play as a central defender, and he also can play as a defensive midfielder. And if you put him as an attacking midfielder, you don't get much from him because he's the type of player like to make late runs and he like to be stuck in just like Caicedo. He like to put the foot in. If you watch Andre Santos playing defensive midfield, he's always in the right place at the right time, similar to Caicedo. So I think that he is an out and out defensive midfielder.
Yeah, and that's a very interesting thing as well because I find it odd that based on that and well, racing. What is racing? Here? So it says races. So because he scored, he's an attacking midfielder. So should we play Caicedo as an eight then? Again, I'm wondering. I'm wondering if he's saying that just be or I wonder if they're saying that because you can't. I don't think you should use that as a criteria to say that okay because he was scoring goals, you should profile him as an attacking midfielder. We Caicedo scores goal. That doesn't mean that he's an attacking midfielder. Um,
All right.
we had players who could score
Can I say one
as well.
thing,
So I
Ty?
don't get it.
Can I say
Yeah.
one thing, Ty? Um, I'm gonna send some people back. Do some homework. Okay. All right. For instance, right? Brazil under. I think it was the under 20 is either under 20 or under 17. I think it's under 17 World Cup before Santos come to Chelsea. I think it was 2 years ago. He couldn't be okay. I think it's the under 20 World Cup. I think Estevão Williams was a part of that squad too. The youngest player, a part of that squad, right? Go back and watch the Brazilian games in that FIFA World Cup that Andre Santos playing, right? If you notice, go back. I'm not gonna tell anyone. Just go back and watch that tournament, the Brazilian game in that tournament, and you guys will see why Andre Santos was almost the top goal scorer in that tournament as a defensive midfielder because of his late runs and his header inside of the box. Just go back and watch that tournament, and we all will see what Andre Santos is about and what he's capable of. And you will see the likes of Estevão Williams as a 15-year-old or 16 years old playing in that tournament also.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So I I've always found that odd, but at the end of the day, it does is what it is. I'm not sure why people believe that that was the case, but I guess people just perceived it that way just because of that, which to me is kind of odd, but it is what it is. But yeah, big up to you, Ray. Thank you for saying this. Very interesting, though. Um, Arsenal is next. And there's something that I've been seeing. Craig Burley has been saying, and I know Craig Burley hates Chelsea. He used to play for Chelsea, but he hates them for ESPN. Um, he said that the real acid test for Chelsea is Arsenal because Arsenal will not play like Barcelona, which is true because Arsenal have a better midfield than Barcelona had available, and their defense is a bit more solid. They have the best defensive record right now this season. So I know the just not to really deter away from the Barcelona match, but for Arsenal, what do you think would really be the best thing to do in terms of breaking them down or to get a good result or a positive result against them, Garvan?
I think that honestly the same starting 11 would be the better option. And one of the reason why I said the same starting 11 would be the better option. Fofana have to start and Shalaba have to start because they're the two best central defenders pairing that we really got. To if I'm gonna be honest, Malagusto have to start. Reece James gonna have to start because we're gonna have to go physical with Arsenal because that's what they try to bring. They try to bully teams, and you need at least two sitters. And I think that Neto will run the channel and he will run all day long. And I don't get that from Joe Pedro when he play. I think that something is wrong. I think he's still not fully fit because he's just barely jogging around the pitch and he's normally glide past people. And that's not what you're not getting that from him. So something is off.
Mhm.
So I will go for the runners, and that's how you're gonna keep Arsenal back from bombing too much up, and especially to keep them down in their half. You're gonna have to have a likes of a Garnacho, Even if he don't score, but the speed that he created and the threat that he created behind will have Arsenal thinking. So I think the same starting 11. I know that the rotation is key for Maresca, but at this time I was surprised and bring the same starting 11. And with Estevão Williams one on one, dribbling skills will also, because if you notice, Arsenal left back, he's like to bump forward, and their right back also. So to pin them back or to give them another way of thinking that we cannot push too much, because Arsenal push the wing back to get a lot of corners and throwing in the final third, so they can use it as their weapon. So if we can try to pin their wing back as much as possible and find the gap between Declan Rice when he push, trying to be the extra eight, and go one on one with Subamende, I think that's the way to beat Arsenal. To be quite honest, I think we have to find a space that Declan Rice is leaving to try to
Mhm.
force himself to reach in the attack. If we can get those momentum, on our side, and we can take the advantage that they're gonna leave, with the Declan Rice. I think we can make a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Honestly, I don't think there's really much to really be worried about with Arsenal. It's just about if the application works the way that it's planned, because it's as much as Arsenal have a very good defense, they do, as you said, they leave gaps in behind. Um, and of course, Gabriel, I know they played Hincampi, and he was able to do well for them. And of course, with the likes of, I almost said, what's his name? What's that guy's name again? Ah, Saliba. Man, I forgot the man's name. It's Saliba. So in terms of that, they have a good defense, but I don't think it's to the point where you can't beat them. Um, but that's the thing. So you're saying that the best thing is to start the same 11, which or as close to the same level, I would say, because I don't know. Wesley Fofana, I'm kind of cautious with him. I feel very concerned, and I know we both agree that he tends to injure himself when he gets injured. Nobody injures him; he injures himself. So I realize that he's keeping it a bit simple so far, and that's good. And he's been able to stay fit a bit more with the way he's being utilized and rotated. Thanks, Maresca. So that's very important as well, and I'm happy that that's what's actually happening.
I don't want to cut you, but before I forget this point, the reason why I think that he's in contention to start in this game, even if he don't play the whole entire game, because Maresca tend to, if he see that he need to make a change, he is not afraid to take the central defender off. But my biggest problem is we cannot use Toaston, because this game is not for Toaston, because Toaston is playing the ball behind him, which Arsenal like to do. It's gonna be a big problem for us. So we definitely cannot use him. So we're gonna have to start Fofana. And if you notice against Burnley, he wasn't even on the bench. So Maresca, I think, know that he's gonna have to use him in these two big games. So that's why he gave him a full game off on Saturday. You know, big up, big up, big up, big up, bro. Yeah, man. So I think that's one of the big weapon, because I think Maresca gonna start him, because he know against Arsenal with the speed that they possess when they're trying to run behind, we definitely have to use Fofana and Shalaba, honestly. Or
Mhm.
unless we're gonna use Achapong, because for me, Achapong is better than Toaston with speed wise, and that's what Arsenal tried to bring. They tried to bring the speed, the running behind, and you're gonna have to have players that can recover as quick as possible. If Fofana can keep it simple, he can go through the 90 minutes and also the December period. All you got to do is do what he's doing right now. You win the ball. You don't try to bomb rush. You pass it to your midfielder and you recover. Less using the muscles, and yes, losing all. all your body strengths and all of that stuff. So I think that if he keep it simple, he can play. He can play almost every game, but he just have to keep it simple. Win the ball and let the midfielder do their job. Don't try to do the midfielder job. Just do what you do. Same thing you do against Barcelona, you have to do the same thing against Arsenal. Play it simple. Do your part of the job and let the rest of the team do their part of the job. Don't try to do too much or try to do another man's job. Just do what you got to do.
Yeah. Um, there's already saying Pong is versatile as well. Can play right back. Yeah, so he can play as right back. I think that's what he came on to replace. I think it was James to do that role as well. So yeah, he can play as a right back. He's naturally a right back, but can also play as a centre back. And speaking about Pong, there's a video, and I have to give the individual on the panel the credit for me doing that video as well, because he suggested I do it. So for persons who will be watching, it says check out the Josh Pong, the next Lucio video that's there. Is he will he could he continue to resemble the way that Lucio plays? Um, the video is there. It's about 3 weeks late as well, so you can check it out. But yeah, I mean, as you said, Garvan, we have to just hope that he doesn't injure himself when he's playing for Fana. Um, but then the whatever happens happens. But I think it's possible. I think it's possible that he could play. He didn't. He was. It's not like he's played back-to-back games consistently, and as you said, he wasn't on the bench for the Burnley game, so he was rested. So hopefully we can see some consistency. And speaking about Chalaba briefly, because I will have to end the stream soon. But Chalaba is considered a player who is not good enough. What do you think about Chalaba and his performance against Barcelona? What do you think about him overall?
It would be unfair. I think that people tend to take away the beauty of football game. You know, I don't want to big up anyone on your channel, but you got a certain channel out there that doing a little stuff that they call killing the game. And I come across it a couple of days ago, and then I really like some of the stuff that's on it, because I think that fans started killing the game a lot. Fans tend to not enjoy what the game is about, or what the game tend to be. And killing the game, just like our friend Jerry, always talking about Enzo Flit and Yamal because they're Barcelona players, and he liked them. And my take on it. Not calling out my friend because he's my brother, but those little stuff kind of get me irritated a little bit, because I'm a Chelsea true and true. And when you choose your team, there's no going back. It's like you're choosing your wife or your parents. They are already your parents. You cannot get a different parents, because they're the one that bring you in this world. And when you choose your team, I think it's a similar, pattern. Even if you like another parent out there, how they do to their kids, you keep it to yourself. That's how I look in football. Like killing the game, it's it's what fans tend to do this time around. Sometimes I'm wondering if, like, some fan content, if it's real or it's rigged or it's script. And I think football used to be natural. You know, you win, you lose. Every team gonna have a bad spell in life. The same thing with players. But if we're supposed to, look on the truth of it, Fofana is it's a good defender. But when you go to Chalaba, you know, Chalaba is a reliable defender. Not saying he's a world class defender, but on his day, you know, he tend to put in performance and good performance. Not only in this current Chelsea team, it's even back then when Thiago Silva was there. One time, every Chelsea fan was saying Chalaba is one of the best defender in the world, because every time Chalaba play, we go, like, I think it was 28 games from Thomas Tuchel come right down. about 28 or more than that game, that we never lose a game when Chalobah play, and everyone have him on the highest level. So all of a sudden now, everyone is saying that he got a Boza moment. Every player in this world got Boza moment. Every player in this world, because you have to remember, players are human. And I think he's not, I'm not saying he's a world-class defender. I think he's a very decent defender. You know, if you put him with the right partnership, I think that he always turned out to perform. You know, when you can rely on him, because when it's time for him to be dirty, he can. When it's time for him to do simple, he would do it. You know, he do whatever, you know, he have to do sometimes for the best of the team. I understand that, yes, he got bad moments, but fans, we have to be fan. You know, we have to support the players. We have to support our team because they're seeing what's going on social media. You know, don't think that player don't see what's going on. They see what's going on. But I think for right now, I think Chalobah is a very decent defender, and I'm not saying it because I wanna say it because no, yeah, you know me, Ty. If I don't rate a player, they're not in. I'm not afraid to tell you. But I think that for the job he done for Chelsea, I think that yes, he is better than the rest that we got right now. If we did have Levi Colwell, then we could have saying okay. But Levi Colwell did have his moments also. Fofana do have his moments. Every single player, when Gabriel and Saliba just started at Arsenal, they got a lot of Boza moment. Now everyone is saying Gabriel is the best defender in the world. Wrong or right?
Yeah, I mean that's the case. They do. Look at Van Dijk.
Okay. When Van Dijk was at Southampton, you know, coming up, he made mistakes. And right now, they said Van Dijk was the best defenders in the league for so many years. And what happened? Right now, everyone is clip him up for every move, every mistake he made, everything that he done wrong. They clip him and posted and said, "Oh, he's up the hill or he's over the hill." Like that's football for us. Every single player gonna have bad days and good days. So I don't think that he's that bad as what people are saying. I think that they need to give the guy, you know, let him do what he do, because a lot of time for right now, if it wasn't for Chalobah, you know, we wouldn't have so many points. We wouldn't win certain games. When it's time for him to put the work in, he put the work in. When he's on top of his game, he's on top of his game. So let us help keep him on top of his game. Let us help build him and stop tearing him down. Fans have to stop tearing down their teams. And this is one thing with me and Jerry gonna never see eye to eye with this part. I never try to tear down my team because I always want my team to win. I'm never gonna say another manager is better than my manager, and I'm not gonna say a player is better than my player. To be quite honest, because I'm a fan of Chelsea Football Club. I'm not a fan of Barcelona. I'm not a fan of Germany. I'm a fan of Brazil and Jamaica, and sometimes England. So a fan gonna have to stick to their part. I understand he's a fan of Germany, but every manager have to start from somewhere, just the same way as a player. A player is gonna have to make mistake to learn. The same thing with in regular life. People make mistakes to learn from it. If you make mistake and you don't learn from it, that means something is wrong with you. So we have to let people make mistake to grow. Just like my kids, sometimes I watch them making mistake, and even though I know they're gonna make the mistake, I leave them let them make the mistake, because if I go tell them, hey, you're making the mistake, guess what's gonna happen? They're not gonna learn from it. They're probably gonna do the same thing down the line because I'm the one that told them. So sometimes you have to let the fire burn people so they know that the fire will burn you and you will get hurt. So it's not saying you're mean or saying that you're a cruel person. Sometimes you have to let people face the fire. And for me, I think Chalobah, you know, he is not the big name player that they wanted, or because we didn't buy him, you know, that doesn't mean he's not good. Look at Gay. Right now, everyone would bite off your hand to get Gay back into Chelsea. Wrong or right?
Ha, yeah. Very funny man.
Okay. Where Mark Gay come from? You know, these are the conversation that we need to have. You want to go splash the cash on Gay, but Gay was in the academy just the same as Chalaba. Chalaba was better than Gay when he was in the academy. And now Gay go out and he get regular game time, and now everyone is have Gay on top of one of the best player defenders in the league. When him and Chalaba is coming from the same school, but because we didn't buy him, a lot of people think that he's not good enough because you have to buy a player that's good. Football don't play like that. Sometimes you have to take players from your academy and help them and watch them grow. It's not all about go and splash the cash. And honestly, Ty, which defender out there right now in the world that we can get that you're gonna say it's a world-class defender at this moment?
The market doesn't have that luxury right now. It's not there, so I don't really think that's really possible to say that there's a top one right now.
They got a thing. They got a thing in life that people always say. Ungratefulness is one of the worst disease you can ever think of. You have to appreciate what you got, and don't appreciate what you don't got. Because when you appreciate what you got, you see the trueness of what you got. And if you don't got something, you can appreciate it because it's not yours. So we have to be careful of what we cry for. You know, appreciate. I'm a person that I appreciate every little moment. You know, we have to always remember, appreciate what you got. We got Shalaba at this moment. We have to, we have to keep Shalaba because that's what we got at this moment. We have to help him to get over the line. We have to let him feel like he's the best central defender in the world. If you're a true Chelsea fan, you have to make all your players, even if you know they're not good enough, you have to try to find a way to get the best out of them. And to get the best out of them is to support them. That means when they go on the pitch, they know that you got their back, so they will die for the badge. Even if they're not good enough, they feel like they can die for that badge because you give them that hope, you give them that extra drive, you give them that extra confidence, you give them the extra belief. And if you don't give your player that, who else gonna give it to them? Rival? A rival not gonna give your team what they deserve. You have to let your players feel like they're the best in the world. So a fan need to support fan, and this is where me and Jerry not gonna see eye to eye. Ty, I'll keep on bringing up Jerry because we whoop Barcelona, and he's always saying Barcelona, oh flip this, flip that. The way our Barcelona play, any team can beat them, long as you can defend properly. You can beat them in any given day of the week. I like Ansu Flick, but when I realized this eye line, do you know that Barcelona concede 13 one-on-one with their goalkeeper? You know that they concede 90 something goals because of the eye line. So how you want to give, all you want to give a manager all the praises, and you don't want to give your manager that's trying his best. I just don't get fan these days. And as I told you, man, I'm Chelsea first. And if people are gonna say bad things about Chelsea, I'm gonna always defend Chelsea because I'm Chelsea first and everything else after that.
Well, and this one thing, with Jerry, though, Jerry has a thing for German managers, but I think the thing is, and I mean to be fair to him, he did say that he believes that that Chelsea could win. He said based on the fact that they don't have Pedri and all that, it's going to be a big miss. So, I mean, if anything, he was more confident than I was. That's that. We won the match. That's all that matters. Beyond the belt is saying Garvan spitting facts. Always invite him going forward. Yeah, it's not up to me. It's up to Garvan's availability. Not if because Garvan knows I will invite him if he's available. I will invite him. So definitely, but At least you can see the reason why he's added to the panel. Um, and he says we need to support our players. So yes, definitely we need to support our players. And he says love this stream. Who's this? Ayodi. I thought we were going to stream later. Okay, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna see that. It says 100% Garvan. All right, so I'm not paying for the premium version of StreamYard, so it's telling me that I only have 5 minutes left, so I'm gonna have to wrap up the stream. But thank you very much for joining, Garvan. It was a very good discussion, and it gave me a chance to ask questions and to get responses as well. It's always better to have somebody on rather than speaking by yourself, because you have somebody to be asking questions and having a conversation.
Before we end the streams, for all who are watching, I'm gonna tell all you guys, to believe in what Maresca is trying to build. Not saying that he's gonna be the coach that gonna take us over the line, but he's building something special. And this is something that I want to leave with all the Chelsea fans to have confidence. Every team in this world have to rebuild in some point. This Arsenal team is getting older. This Liverpool team, where I've been telling Ty and Jerry behind closed door that they're going to be a time they're going to have to rebuild. The same thing with Manchester City. I've been saying it for the last 3 years, Ty, that these players at Manchester City are going to have to leave at some point. And what happened? They've started to fall off. Liverpool started to fall off. Mo Salah and Van Dijk is almost over the hill. So Arsenal at this moment, even if they win the league this year, these players going to want to move on in some point, or they're going to fall off because those players are getting older. And if they don't win the league this year, I think that's going to break Arsenal completely. And who's in the line to take over? Chelsea. So I've confidence, even if we don't win the league this year, but I've confidence that we're going to dominate for a few years. We just have to do our rebuild, wisely. Don't wait until players start to be over the hill before you start to bring in replacement, like what we did the last time. We didn't replace Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba, and all of these players as all we should have. We should have an understudy for these players that when they go, we already have someone step in at this moment. And this is what football is about. You have to rebuild at the right time, the right moment. Just like what Chelsea is doing right now, bringing a whole bunch of 16-year-old players. They're the one. I think this is the right way to look at it, and this is the right way to go down. So have faith and be confident. Chelsea is up again. Up your Chelsea. And peace, brother. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So that's a very good way to end it as well. I shouldn't have said anything, but I should have just ended the stream after that.
Neon poles in the midnight air. Wires hum like they know you're there.
fire.